Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to discuss United credit cards and the United Points program. If you're someone who has a United credit card or is looking to get a United credit card, or you want to transfer your Chase Ultimate Reward points over to United to redeem them, in this video I'm going to go over how to redeem the points for good value, and also I'm going to break down the different personal cards for United. But before I do that, I'm JP Knowledge, and here on this channel I drop some knowledge on you about personal finance, savings, and how to maximize spend. If that's something that you're interested in, please subscribe down below. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is go over the 4 personal United credit cards. There are business credit cards, but I'm not going to go over that. I'm just going to do the United personal credit cards. And the 4 of them is going to be the Gateway card, the Explorer card, the Quest card, and United Club Infinity card. So the first card we're going to go over is going to be the United Gateway card. So the United Gateway card is the only one of these 4 cards. It's going to be no annual fee. This card has a sign-up bonus of up to 30,000 points. As you can see right here, you're going to get 15,000 miles after you spend your first $1,000, and then you're going to get another 15,000 miles after you spend in a total of $3,000 in the first 6 months. So I think that this card actually isn't a bad card to have. I don't think I would apply for this card first. I would first apply for one of the cards that has a higher sign-up bonus, and then maybe if I'm not getting the value that I want from those other cards, I would downgrade to this card. But there's actually some nice things of actually just owning a United card, because if you actually have a United card, you actually get to see more availability with partners as compared to if you're just booking on United's website. So I actually would say that if you are looking to get into this points miles game, or if you're just someone who likes to fly either with United or with any of their partners, then it would actually maybe make sense to actually get one of these cards just for the availability. And this one right here, if you decide you actually want to get some of the points and you decide you want to downgrade after having the card for the first year, I think this card could actually be one that could be worth having. But as you can see, the card's going to give you 2x miles on United purchases, going to give you 2x miles at gas stations, and it's going to give you 2x miles on local transit and commutes. And then 1x and everything else. So other than that, it just kind of has the more basic things, as you can kind of see here, where it's like travel and purchase coverage and things like that. But I think that, yeah, I don't have anything negative really to say about this card, it being a no annual fee card. I just don't think that if you're going to get one of the United cards first, this would be the first one to get. And if you are actually interested in getting any one of these United cards because you don't have one, I will have referral links down below. If you decide to use those links, it will help out the channel. I'd be very thankful for your support. Okay, so the next card on here is going to be the United Explorer card. Now, this is actually a card that I have. I got this card last year, and it allowed me to go on my trip over to Europe. I went over to Istanbul, Turkey. It was absolutely wonderful on that trip. But I was able to do that trip because of getting this card and the sign-up bonus that came with the card. So I didn't have this sign-up bonus. There was a different sign-up bonus that was going on last year when I decided to get the card. But right now, this card has a sign-up bonus of up to 70,000 points. Now, this card actually does have a $95 annual fee, but it appears it's actually going to be waived for the first year with this current offer. Now, the 70,000 points, how it's going to work out for this card is you're going to get 60,000 points after $3,000 spend, and then you're going to get another 10,000 points as you do 6,000 total in spend. So with this card, you're going to get very similar in point, what you're able to gain in points for what you were able to get from the Gateway card. So you see, you only get 2x points when it comes to United purchases, which I wish they would elevate that. But I guess it's only $95. They think that they can do it that low. You're going to get 2x miles on dining. You're going to get 2x miles on hotel stays when you book with the hotel. And then you're going to get 1x on everything else. So the point gaining on this, it's not the greatest. But what they kind of are offering here that they feel like is what's going to be worth the $95 is going to be that you get 2 club passes for United. So if you happen to want to use United's lounge, if you happen to be at an airport that actually has United's lounge, you're going to get 2 passes. Now, it says here that it has a $100 value of these lounges. I used the lounges this year, and I got to tell you, they're nice, but I wouldn't pay $50 for each lounge. So I guess they can value it that, because technically you can get a bunch of alcohol, you're going to get a bunch of food, so you could get it up to being $100 in value, but I wouldn't pay $50 for these. I think maybe I would price it more at like $20, $25 each. But the club lounges in United are actually pretty good. I went to the one in Newark when I had a stopover over there before I came over to Los Angeles. And then actually I was in Hawaii and I used one out there, and I actually liked that one a lot. That one was pretty nice. But it is nice to be able to have the availability to go to lounges. So if you don't actually happen to have another one of the premium cards, such as like the Sapphire Reserved or the Amex Platinum, then maybe this card right here could benefit you for a couple of lounge accesses throughout the year. Then you're also going to get a free check bag. It's going to give you $100 in TSA pre-check and global entry, and then you're going to get 25% off on United flight purchases. The next card is going to be a United Quest card. This is a new card right here. This one has a 100,000 point sign-up bonus, or up to 100,000 point sign-up bonus. This card actually, I think it can be a keeper card if you're someone who actually likes to stay or likes to fly with United. Now, this one does have a high annual fee. You're looking at $250 annual fee with this card. So to get the 100,000 points, what you're going to need to do is for the first $5,000 spent, you're going to get 80,000 points. And then for the next $10,000 in total spent over the first 6 months, you're going to get an additional 20,000 points. So right there, I think that, that can get you pretty much, you can get a business class flight to Europe if you end up doing that. And then, you might have to transfer over a few points and then get an economy flight back. But right there, that could be a lot of value just from getting those points. So I would say if I had to choose getting one of these cards, now I do already have the United Explorer card, but if I had to choose just from where the bonus is, I would say that I would first go with the Quest card, get that bonus, at least get the 80,000 points. If you're someone who thinks that maybe the 20,000 points for another $5,000 in spending isn't going to be worth it, then okay. But I think that that's not bad. It's additional, 4 points per dollar if you end up looking at it like that. But for me, I would think that at least get the 80,000 points and then decide after that whether or not this card is still going to be worth it for you. But you are going to get 3x on United purchases, which is, higher up, which is actually great to have. Because the one problem is that the other cards that give you 2x, if you decide to get the Sapphire Preferred, you can get the Sapphire Preferred and then just rack up the points the exact same way. Then you have, flexible currency with having the United, having the Ultimate Reward points, and then you can transfer those Ultimate Reward points over to United. So I think that it makes more sense to do that than to just rack up all the points on the United cards. Get yourself the either Sapphire Preferred or Sapphire Reserved, rack up points on that, and then decide which program you want to use when it's time to use them. But then the other than the 3X, everything else is going to be just like the Explorer card. Then what you're actually going to get is you're going to get a $125 annual United purchase credit. So this is actually really great because if you actually happen to be someone who is going to be flying on United, then you're already going to get this. So this is trying to incentivize you to keep sticking with them. But if you are already someone who, is at an airport that you mainly fly United, bam, right there, you're going to get $125. It's going to cut down the annual fee, $125. Plus, you're also going to get, up to, 10,000 points when it comes to an anniversary rewards for this card. So you can get 2 5,000-mile anniversary rewards with this card. You just have to book 2 times with United flights using United miles. So if you happen to be redeeming United miles, you will actually get back 5,000 points 2 times in the year. So if you happen to be someone who does fly United, you happen to be redeeming United points, then right there, if you're looking at 10,000 points you could possibly be getting, and also $125 credit, you're looking at a card that actually could maybe end up being worth it. It just depends on how much you end up using United. And then if you decide you actually do want to try to get status, you're going to earn 3,000 Premier qualifying points. Then the other things are going to be the same. The last card that we're going to have here for United is going to be the United Infinity Club card. So with this card, you get 75,000 bonus miles. Now this card has a $525 annual fee. Honestly, out of all the cards, this is probably going to be the one I'm going to recommend the least, because with the $525 annual fee of a card, what you get from that is you're going to be able to get access to United Club's lounges. If you're someone who always uses United and wants to use United Club's lounges, then yes, I guess this card makes sense for you. But I don't use United that much, and I think most people, won't make that much sense, especially for $525. Because in my opinion, I would rather just have something like the Amex Platinum, use the Amex Platinum, which is going to cost a little bit more annual fee, but you'll have more accesses to more lounges. Or I would rather get the Sapphire Preferred Reserved if you want to stick with Chase. It's going to be a little bit higher of an annual fee, but again, more access to more lounges with that. So, but if you happen to be someone who is very, very loyal to United, then maybe this card will make sense for you. But again, a $525 annual fee. And pretty much what you're going to get from the card is you're going to get 4x on United purchases. First and second checked bag is going to be for free. And it's also going to give you, again, earn up to 3,000 Premier qualifying points. The thing about United is part of the Star Alliance, which is actually really awesome because the fact that they are part of this alliance allows you to use your points. When you actually use your points with United, they can connect with their partners. So, for instance, if you're using your United points, you can actually fly on Air Canada, on Turkish Airways. So the fact that there's partnerships and they're all part of the Star Alliance, it allows you to have way more availability when you actually want to book them. So that's exactly what I did when I ended up flying to Turkey. I flew on Turkish Airways, but I booked all of it through United. So I'm going to show you just kind of one of the awesome things that actually you get from the United program, and this is the thing that kind of makes it stick out from some of the other programs. And what it is it's called the Excursionist Perk. Now, how the Excursionist Perk works is this: when you're flying from one region to another region that they have set out here on their map, I would just Google, United region map. You'll be able to have one stopover where you don't have to spend any points. You have to pay taxes and fees, but no points have to be used. So if you happen to be flying somewhere, for instance, if you happen to be flying from North America and you happen to be flying over to Europe, you can actually get one stopover in Europe. And the thing about it is how you book it to get over there is how you get to do your second flight. So for instance, if you happen to fly over there in business class, that second flight that you get from wherever you're going, maybe it could be from Amsterdam to Moscow, which is an example I'm going to show you soon, you can actually get that in business class where you won't have to pay any points. You just have to pay the taxes and fees for that extra flight. So that's one thing that's really, really awesome about them. Now, you can actually look and play around with this map, be able to see all the different regions. So you can see also they have, Asia's pretty broken up. So it's not going to be as easy in Asia, but I do think that the sweet spot is going to be going over to Europe. So either going over to Europe, or if you happen to be coming from Europe over to America, I think that that's going to be more of the sweet spots with it if you want to actually use this Excursionist Perk. But I highly recommend that if you actually are going to be traveling over with using United points, to try to do it. I was originally going to try to do it when I went over to Europe, but due to the pandemic, I was nervous about the ability to be able to go into some of the other countries, so I ended up just scrapping it and just going over to one place. I was very thankful that I was able just to go to the one place, go over to Istanbul, Turkey. It was fun. I wish I was able to go see other countries, but I just didn't want to deal with the hassle of possibly having to quarantine and having any of those issues. But hopefully in the next year, more things will open up and be a lot easier. But that's the reason why I didn't use the Excursionist Perk the last time. I originally booked it, but then I just changed it just to being round trip. I'm going to show you just kind of a quick little redemption on here for how you can actually use the Excursionist Perk. So as I said, imagine going to somewhere like Amsterdam to Moscow. It's a pretty decent distance, but as you can see right here, I'm going to pull up from Los Angeles to Amsterdam, and then Amsterdam to Moscow, and then I'm going to choose Moscow to Los Angeles. Now this is all on United's website. You just have to go to multi-city, make sure you click on miles, and then when you do search, you'll be able to see all the different availability. Now, as you can see right here, as the screen loaded up, a flight going from Los Angeles to Amsterdam is going to cost you 36,000 points and $21.30 in taxes and fees. So this is pretty much what it cost me when I went over to Europe. And after you end up clicking it, what you'll end up seeing is that the second flight that you end up choosing, the Excursion Perk, is automatically just going to register in the computer. And what it's going to do is going to say that it's going to be $0 miles, and it's only going to be the tax and fees. So you have to pay $85 in taxes and fees, but the amount of points you're going to use is going to be 0. So I didn't choose business class in the first one, but if I happen to choose business class before, this would actually be 0 miles. It would only be $85 in taxes and fees. So you can actually get 2 business class flights. You can get one over to Amsterdam, and then if you want to go from Amsterdam to Moscow, you'd be able to get that flight right there in business class without having to pay any points. Now I can just show you what it would look like if you actually decided to do an economy flight, because this is Austrian's Airlines, which you can see right here. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be 5 hours and 45 minutes on Austrian. And then right here, it's going to be 5 hours, 45 minutes. It's going to be the exact same flight. So yes, you do have to pay the $85 in taxes and fees, but the flight itself would cost $315. So that's exactly what you'd be saving from actually booking it with this Excursionist Perk. So it can actually be really valuable if you use it. You can save yourself a couple $100 right there. And if you actually know how to use it correctly, you can do, cool tricks with it. I'll show you in just a moment. But another way to actually go about using the Excursion Perk, as I said, is try coming back or try going over to America, because the way it has in America is that all of North America is actually going to be considered a region. So unfortunately, they don't have Hawaii, but they have the North America is going to be considered a region. So if you happen to be going from, say for instance, you're coming out from Barcelona, you decide to go to Miami, Florida, and you go from Miami, Florida over to Anchorage, and you go from Anchorage back to Barcelona. So you're going to see right here that flying from Barcelona over to Miami is going to be 36,000 miles. So as you can see, sometimes it'll be a little bit above. I typically would obviously try to choose the less time. I'll pay a few more miles just so I don't have to sit in the airport for a few more hours. So I'm just going to choose the higher miles right here. just for that. And then I'm gonna show you that you're gonna be able to get a flight from Miami, Florida, over to Anchorage for $5.60. Now, tell me that isn't awesome right there. So you're looking at an 11-hour and 39-minute flight. I mean, it does have a 1 hour and 19-minute layover, so you're looking at pretty much 10 hours of flying that you're going to be able to get for only $5.60 because of the Excursionist Perk. Think about it, you're flying all the way from one end of America all the way to the top part of America, and it's only going to cost you $5.60. Now, we can actually see the value of it on here to actually see what it would cost. So it's going to be on United. It ended up being $266. So you're pretty much saving $260. So depending on when you're flying, depending on when you're doing this, you can actually end up, again, saving a lot. So this is the reason why that the Excursionist Perk can actually be really, really valuable. And if you actually use the Excursionist Perk correctly, you can actually end up crossing over the two Excursionist Perks. So you can end up having, the going over to Europe and then having one stopover for free and then coming back. But then if you end up using it the reverse, as in coming over from Europe over to America, having one stopover over there and then coming back, you can connect the two. So pretty much you end up having one free round trip flight. So you can end up doing that. It can actually end up being really valuable. So you just have to play around with the Excursionist Perk and then you'll be able to understand exactly how you can get awesome value from it. So United credit cards in the United program. Well, as a whole, I think that United credit cards, at least definitely for the sign-up bonus, I would get one of these cards just knowing that you're able to get pretty much a round trip over to Europe. That right there to me seems very, very valuable. But I do also think that at least having the Gateway card or having the Quest card to be able, if you're someone who flies United a lot, then I would definitely look at getting the Quest card or the Gateway card just to be able to get the extra availability with the partners with United. I would definitely want to have the card just for that reason. And then as a whole with United as their program, the fact that they are a transfer partner with Chase makes them, really awesome to have, because then you can just rack up a bunch of Chase points and then transfer it over to them if you decide to, go to trips. I feel more over to Europe. If I haven't really found the best value over for Asia, I think there's other programs that can do a little bit better, but at least that's just how I felt. But yeah, I hope this information was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, if there was any confusion over things that I said, please drop it in the comments down below. I'll do the best I can to answer them. But if you did like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and have a beautiful rest of your day. Peace.